They ruined it.
They ruined it.
It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margie McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margie McGee, and with me, as always, is my dear friend and co-host.
Hello, I am Ramona Ramirez Higgins. It's good to see you, friend.
Good to see you, too. I mean, we were already just talking about Miami because this franchise is the best. I love it. They're colorful. Every piece of clothing, every venue they went to, this episode was like great. Full entertainment, gives me everything I want from Housewives, left with some like sense of resolution that I know is short-lived, but I don't care. Like, I loved it.
Hostein's hilarious. She's
What the
hilarious.
hell? I feel like divorced Lisa is going to be someone I'm like interested to watch. Like, I can't believe what's happening.
I can't either, and I love every minute of it. It is crazy. I have done a conditional 180 on Hochstein. Okay, conditional in these last two episodes. I am by no means, she is by no means absolved for her abhorrent beliefs, views, past behavior. Okay, everyone, okay, caveat, asterisk. I understand that people are worthy of, not everyone, okay, again, this is my opinion. Not everyone is worthy of forgiveness. TBD if I would forgive someone like Lisa Hochstein in my real life. You know, I don't know her other than what I see on the show, but just strictly going on these last two episodes, she has endeared herself to me. Possibly 3 episodes. I don't know, but this week's was no
I've liked her
different.
this whole season. It's really weird. I just think like, yeah, something galvanizing is happening with this divorce coming to a close, as we find out in this episode. All I know is I want to go to Spain so bad I can like barely stand it.
I am now dying for a flamenco dress, and all I want to do is wear my hair in a low bun or in that Alexia braid with the flowers at the base of my neck. Oh my God.
They look gorgeous and they were all in. This franchise, it just does it all right. Remember when the Beverly Hills Housewives like got in Western gear? Wasn't it Beverly Hills where they like went somewhere and got kimosabi hats and wore Western gear and like watched the rodeo? And it was like they were clearly all self-conscious and like didn't like being in costumes and were like, oh, what do we do here? And this was so different. Every single one of them who showed up in the lobby, they all cheered for each other and everyone felt great in their dresses and like they were tailored within an inch of their fucking lives. They were gorgeous.
Stunning.
You couldn't have a bite to eat while you were wearing that thing because they were seamed so gorgeously. But I loved it.
Me too.
Like the weather better not change. If there was like any dew point, they would like burst the seams because they just looked great. It was a delight.
The Orange County cast could never.
No.
They're like, what? Well, can I get the flamenco? Heather would be like, can I get the flamenco dress at South Coast Plaza? Oh, I can't. I mean, she can't even show up to whoever's wedding party that was last year. Was it Alexis's engagement party or some shit? Like, what couldn't she show up for? Some party that Alexis threw at that like Christian venue. The one called Agape or whatever. Anyway,
I do kind of love that,
Alexis.
I love that I forgot. You know what it is? The Miami
I'm
Housewives.
glad you forgot.
Me too.
But Heather couldn't. My point was that Heather couldn't show up. Her like 80s dress, her like tacky 80s prom dress. Emily went all in, but even Heather had to look like she had to do like a variation of it. And I'm all for an artistic interpretation, but not when you're so insecure you can't just like go along with it. Come on, man.
That's where Miami did it right. They went to a place that sells one pattern of dress and it's tailored perfectly for your individual body. And that's it. Those are your options. Then you're done. And Miami knows how to like have fun. They have plenty of drama, but even as they're fighting throughout this episode, there are spells that it's like party, party, fight, 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 party, party. I was like, oh my God. Which to me reads as very real, as someone who, as Stephanie would say, is sensitive or emotional. That's how I move through life. Like 1 minute I'm having the time of my life, then I trip and stub my toe and I'm a hopeless klutz who will never recover. And then someone helps me up and I'm like, humanity is unstoppable. People are so kind if I just look. And then I see a newspaper headline and I'm flattened. It's just like, that's how I move through the world. So I really feel like Miami moves at my pace.
And that's why I love you, all of those things. And Orange County can't handle it. Beverly Hills can't handle it. And thank God. Okay, so great. We know. No, I don't think being a housewife is for me. Again, not that they'd ask me. I'm just saying, but like.
I would make a
But
terrible housewife.
That's why you're one of my nearest and dearest. All the things you just explained about yourself are what I
Yes.
love about you.
And I love you because I don't have to hide any of it when I
Right.
don't have to temper any of it. If I want to cry because my mocha didn't have enough foam on it, if that's enough to bring me to my knees one day, I know that I could sit in your passenger seat and weep until I'm done and you will let me be. And you won't define me by Margie cried because there wasn't enough foam in her mocha. Some days that's all I
I'd
have.
validate you.
Thank
I'd
you.
validate you. And like when you said it, I was like, yeah, you know what? I could see it. What if there was a day when you just needed like the one fucking thing to work out for yourself and you made that time to go get that mocha and God, it just wasn't the same person that makes it? Yeah, someone else might be like, get a grip. And I would be like, I fully get that. You
Mhm.
needed that one thing to give you that glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It fell short. And I validate that disappointment. And I would
Oh my
hold that for
God.
you.
Everybody listen, this is why Ramona is the best person to call ever. When you
God,
have something to
thank you.
celebrate or when you have something, however major or minor, that you just need witnessed, Ramona's the best.
And I would never make you qualify it. Like, well, are you sure, Margie? Is that I'd be like, yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend needed that to work out today and it didn't. And I'm here for her to support her through it.
Because sometimes it's not that deep. Sometimes it really just is there wasn't enough foam on the mocha. And sometimes that isn't indicative of like a deeper unresolved family issue. Sometimes I'm just a person who like can't handle being an adult. And so
Yeah.
I went to go do something that made me feel fun and happy and it didn't work out and then I'm a child. So, but then I go to therapy and I look into it. I loved Kiki in this
Yeah.
episode saying like, I'm working on it, acknowledging something that she does very clearly, saying I'm working on it. I related very much to exactly what she was talking about and the fact that I'm working on those sorts of things as well. Like, I love these women.
I do too. I don't love all of them. but
Sorry, I know. I don't love all of them all the time. As soon as that came out of my mouth, I was like, you would have died on that private jet. So like, just don't.
Oh, I mean, I would have died at that lunch. I was like, oh, Lisa is the chorus. Lisa is the chorus.
I love her. Just saying all the quiet parts out loud.
All
just
of it.
one glass of champagne, and she's like, "I'm gonna talk like a rich person."
I know.
And then she
I
quoted a
love
mustard
rich person
commercial
dinner.
from
I
the 80s.
know.
And it wasn't dinner; it was lunch.
It was
on, girl.
amazing. Oh my God. Yes, we'll get there. We'll
Yes.
get there. Well, I would say, shall we? But we have. This
I
is The
know.
Real Housewives of Miami, season 7, episode 13, called Next Stop, Marbella. Olay. Not on delay. but
Oh my God, Vicky
okay, Lisa.
Gunvalson, the ghost of Vicky Gunvalson.
Totally. Oh God.
You know you're like an old time Housewives fan when that word makes you go like, huh, I
Yep.
was immediately transported to Mexico with Vicky Gunvalson for a second.
God.
But we
Poor
don't have to deal with
Mexico.
her because it's the
No.
morning of the Marbella trip and everyone's gathering in the lobby except for Alexia and Marysol, who will be taking a mental health day. And this is where I just wrote colors, patterns, wild accessories, Gertie's glasses, purses. Like everybody just was like A game, A game, A game, all in.
Oh, I love being all in. I love an excuse, any excuse. Like, what can I do to pull out these glasses? Gertie's outfit, like, was it sequins? Was it something metallic?
It looked like
was
a sequin
stunning.
bodice and then
Yeah.
like a loose silk. I don't know what. And the glasses were like 15 different pairs of glasses welded into one. I was like, I don't know what is going on, but I can't stop looking. You are a work of art.
When Kiki walked into the lobby, I had to rewind it and I pointed out to Josh. I pointed at the TV and I said, I want you to watch how she walks. in this outfit. And she was like walking on a catwalk. Like she just can't help it.
I mean, that
She's
lavender,
a sight
like,
to be seen.
ugh,
Yes.
and her hair done
Her
exquisitely.
everything.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
everyone looked amazing. Nobody is a fucking cookie cutter on this show. Stephanie, her outfits totally translate to Orange County.
They do. You're right.
Her dumb ass, boring, like, oh, okay, my Gucci tights and my Gucci embroidery on the collar of my outdated looking suit. She's so fucking lame, man.
She needs a different stylist. Her stylist is dressing her like, it looks like her stylist is dressing for someone who's like 5 or 6 inches taller than Stephanie is, because she looks like a little kid wearing an adult's outfit, But she could be really cute, but I don't know. Maybe I got that wrong, but it's just not working on her. It all looks like costumes, everything.
It's very costumey. It's so, and that to me, again, it reads like Heather Dubrow. There's just such a lack of originality.
Maybe that's just it. There's no personality in it.
There's no personality.
We get it, Gucci tights. And I was like, I really want to like this look. Like, I like the colors. I'm interested by the tights. But I just want to look away. It's the opposite of stopping and rewinding to watch Kiki walk again. I'm like, I could absolutely fast forward Stephanie walking up the private jet stairs because I don't need to see those tights anymore. I get it, and I'm not moved.
I don't know what label Kiki was wearing. No fucking idea. Don't give a shit. I was enamored. I was enwrapped. Mm-hmm. Adriana, big ass platforms, full baggy outfit, enwrapped.
She looked great.
Fucking enwrapped.
Sitting cross-legged on the airplane. I was like, you're so relaxed and awesome. And you did this day trip so right. I loved her in this episode.
Me too. I did. She's my problematic fave.
She
has been my Miami problematic fave.
That's how I forgive myself for liking her over and over again. I'm like, this is Ramona's problematic fave. It's fine. It's okay. You can really like her. It's fine.
Oh my God. Thank you. And also, should I look at myself? Because I don't want to be fucking full hip when it comes to Adriana. But
maybe she's evolving,
Maybe.
I do think the Miami Housewives of any cast have potential to evolve, like people in other casts, it's like individuals here or there start to evolve and then they're rejected by the tribe. But in Miami, everyone appears to be like making small steps forward or in that vicinity, and then a bunch of backsliding, but it's interesting.
I'm not saying that this is definitive. I'm theorizing and hypothesizing right now. This is a very multicultural cast. And are there more immigrants in this cast than there are in other casts? I think so. I don't watch I did not watch Dallas because I couldn't. Obviously, I have never watched New Jersey. But like Miami's a very multicultural cast. And I wonder if that informs how they are more like what you just said, like more open to like, I wonder if, or just
undoubtedly, because they have a perspective that like the Dallas housewives can never have. Like they have families in trouble. Like let's remember a couple episodes, Kiki reported she's getting death threats from family members because they're so desperate to escape.
Yeah.
And so it gives you a different appreciation of the opportunity to dress up and get on a private plane and go have like a seafood lunch. Like you're not going to bitch about like my seat was uncomfortable. It's like you have a life that is like, it's so glorious. And I love watching rich people luxuriate and enjoy their wealth. There's nothing more painful to me than miserable rich people. It's such a waste. I'm like, then let it go. If it's not making you happy, then give it to these gals who are going to live it up.
I mean, I love that she said it. She and Gertie are like, Kiki's all, look, from Haiti to here.
Now we hear.
Like, fuck, I loved it. I loved it so much. Anyway, that's just what I was thinking. I do want to note that Hochstein was the 4th person to arrive.
Progress.
She's working on it. She's
the threat
working
of
on
that private jet taken off without her.
Yeah.
She was not going to let that be her story.
She does not want to get in trouble. That really resonated with me when she said that. And I know that she was talking about Larsa, Yeah, because she tells the group that she saw Larsa. They didn't make eye contact, but she doesn't. She has enough wherewithal to know, trying to resolve this conflict with Larsa today, on this day, that's Julia's day, she doesn't want to do it. And she also doesn't want to go to the principal's office. And when I hear someone say something like that, who's a grown-up, it reminds me of when I feel like I'm going to get in trouble. And as a middle-aged woman, when I say, oh God, I'm going to be in trouble, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. It's like my traumatized young person is in the driver's seat. I saw her in that moment. It also could, again, more and more hallmarks of ADHD are revealing themselves. The more I learn about how my ADHD manifests in my life, the more I can see it in other people who, again, I am not qualified to diagnose her, nor do I have credentials to diagnose her. All I can say is that some of her behaviors look very similar to my behaviors that I now know are hallmarks of my ADHD. So that
Wait,
like
what in particular? The principal's office thing?
that like the thing about like using stuff like I don't want to go to the principal's office. That's very young thinking. That's, I don't want to get in trouble. Just that word trouble. Like what adult is going to get in trouble? No one says that seriously. And she did. There's like rejection sensitivity disorder is part of is another hallmark of ADHD. And also it probably just speaks to the trauma of her childhood that she hasn't processed yet.
And her Lenny trauma.
And her Lenny trauma, yes.
But
yes.
I also think that I totally agree with everything you're saying. And this is what, and maybe again, I'm projecting what I'm trying to learn in therapy is that two things can be true at once of like, she can have those juvenile thoughts and also she took really mature action. In the face of Larsa being an absolute asshole, she took no bait. And Lisa kind of made an ass of herself. She got a little too drunk and, but it was harmless and it was sweet and it could be reined in and it was fine. Like she was on time. She did not get in the ring with Larsa when Larsa was baiting her in her weird manipulative way. And I was really like, Lisa said, I'll be on my best behavior. And I was like, she was. That was her best behavior for today. And she did great. So cheers.
I think I would have thought she was hilarious. Maybe not. I don't know.
I thought it was hilarious. I was dying
I did
laughing
too as a viewer. I'm like wondering what if I was there. But
I think it's, but that's whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not friends with people who wouldn't find that hilarious, which is why sometimes I don't mix well with groups who are very fancy because they don't laugh at things. And then I'm like, this is very uncomfortable. But that group seemed to be, with the exception of Stephanie, everyone seemed to be on board for like a good day.
I just like when you were saying that, it made me think about like Beverly Hills and maybe why I like Sutton and Tilly and Garcelle. Oh, God, I wish she was back. They're pretty much not afraid to be themselves too, whereas it feels like obviously Erica and Kyle are very, very much like, I don't see any of them saying, I don't want to get into this today because it's so-and-so's day.
No.
I mean, when Lisa Hochstein is goals compared to fucking Beverly Hills. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Anyway,
the bar
very
is
irrelevant,
in the dirt,
but also,
but still, yeah.
Yeah, the bar is subterranean, absolutely. So we learn, obviously last week we had concluded the episode. They were sitting at the hotel bar coming up with the seating chart for the fucking jet. And Marysol and Alexia were very much a part of that discussion. Less than 12 hours later, we learned that they are not going. Marysol and Alexia told Julia they're not going. And they're because they are afraid that if shit goes down, Stephanie will ditch them and fly back to Sevilla without them. I 100% think that was fair.
100%. And even if they didn't really believe it, I would be so offended by the threat as well. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, and I don't know what the rules are because it's surely more arbitrary than throwing your toilet paper in the trash and taking your shoes off. So if I upset you in some way, the threat exists that you're gonna abandon me, and so I will not have a good time. So you have set that condition in place, and so I'm not going to go. I'm
Completely.
in Seville, for fuck's sake. Like, if my options are feel terrified that I'm going to displease the little king or stay in this gorgeous city and have a latte with my friend, bye.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I mean, honestly. And the fact that Stephanie cannot, throughout the whole episode, cannot catch a glimpse of herself and like how her behavior might have informed some of these decisions is so gross and sad because there's no curiosity. She's just yelling over everyone. Just she'd rather be right than be happy. She ruins her own time a million times throughout this episode. Like these other women, I love Kiki for being like, I'm setting everything aside. She says it a few times in this episode. I did not leave my children to come here and have drama. So I'll deal with that another day. Like they're so able to prioritize in an adult way, which is so unusual for a housewife.
It is. They're able to successfully set internal boundaries. And something that you said a few minutes ago, like, I don't know what the rules are. And that is a terrifying place to be for me.
And it's
to not know-
manipulative on Stephanie's end.
So fucking
She
manipulative.
knows what she's doing. If they misbehave, then I'll just leave them behind. Well, you better enumerate, put in writing, and notarize what the fuck you mean by misbehave. Because as Julia said, we tend to act up. Like this group is not ever on an even keel. So what is going to be the breaking point to being abandoned in Marbella? Like, screw you, Stephanie.
It's on the spectrum of emotional terrorism
It
as far as I'm
is.
concerned. And I don't even think I'm being dramatic using those strong of
I
a
use
term.
that word in my notes. They got away from the little terrorist for the day so they could enjoy a vacation overseas, for Christ's sake.
I know. Like, set it aside for Julia. And I don't like Julia at all. I really don't like her at all. I'm just saying for the purpose of the greater good with this group of women or not, like, if you're letting people go on your plane, you gotta it's fine. Don't be fucking super late. Don't be super drunk. Don't trash my shit, obviously. But like, I think that's pretty much like a given.
Of course. But also, if you invite people to do stuff, like if I have a party, I'm not going to stand at the door and be like, you have to swear before you come in here. You're not going to drink too much. You're not going to throw up. You're not going to trip on my carpet and fuck it up. Don't have a party. You are not fun. You are creating conditions that make it impossible to relax and do what this event is for. So just don't. Like if I open up my space to people or dogs or kids, like expect a stain, for Christ's sake. Expect a tear in your fabric. Let it.
Yeah.
If you're so rigid about the shit you own and it has to stay pristine, do not share it. Do not share your toys because it makes everyone uncomfortable. You're on high alert because you're watching me, who's on high alert because I'm so afraid I'm going to ruin something that we're no longer having like a time. Now it's just two people. I'm terrified I'm a klutz and I'm going to spill or rip something. And you're terrified because you know I'm a klutz. You like me, but you invited me onto this place where you'd really like it to not ever be damaged. And then we're both
Don't mess
miserable.
up my upholstery. I mean, God. Yeah. And then you might tell me, oh, why aren't you relaxing?
Yeah.
How come you can't relax? Why
That
do you
wasn't
seem
very
so
fun.
anxious and wound up?
Right.
Fuck you, because I don't know the goddamn rules. I'm on quicksand, bitch.
Yes. Yes.
Jesus. Anyway. Triggered.
Right?
Triggered.
Same.
And I'm not above admitting it. I am not above admitting it. That's why this one was so gnarly to take notes on. Because there was so much that I was like, ooh, got my tender part. Oh, I see that. Oh, I get it. Yeah. But that's why we have this podcast. And we're so, like we're talking about this stuff in our smiles. Like we're alive talking about this. That's why we do this.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the positive stuff too. So like Julia says, she reports Alexia and Marysol are not coming. And she says, I'm not taking it personally. I'm not holding it against them. I wish they would come, of course, but I can't change it. Done. And I was like, well, that is the serenity prayer for anyone who's curious. It is just saying like, I can't change the things that are. And so I'm moving on to enjoy the day as best I can. And I was like, hell yeah. And I hate Julia this season in particular. Can't stand her. Can't stand her later in the episode. But in this moment and a couple others, I was like, okay, I believed her.
I had,
Different take.
well, it's funny.
Yes.
Yes, I did. I said,
Okay.
okay, she's not taking it to heart. She wishes they were coming, but completely understands. And I wrote, what? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And then I wrote, would she have this reaction to Gertie or Adriana not coming? I don't think she'd be so gracious if it was Gertie or Adriana not joining for the same reasons, same stated reasons. I really don't. But
don't
I
know,
hate Julia,
because-
and I am also I'm really looking at her behavior through a microscope,
No,
and I'm
but I
not looking
think,
for the good. I'm looking
but
for the
I,
way she's going to support how I feel about her.
I don't think it's because she's good that she would have the same reaction for Gertie. I think it's because she understands the reasoning. What Stephanie did is gross. It is objectively gross. Every single person hates it. So I don't think it has to do with Julia being like altruistic for some and not others. I think it has to do with Julia being somewhat self-centered and being like, I get it. If I didn't have to go, I might make a different choice too. But it's my day and my event, so I'm going, and I'm not going to invest in it because it's not going to change and it's not going to get better. So let's just go, have lobster in a White Lotus mansion in Marea.
God, amazing,
Mm.
amazing. So we go to the rooftop with Alexia and Marysol, and they are already so relieved that they've made this decision. They feel very much, you can just tell that they are just, there's already calmness and serenity that they've given themselves with this decision. And they're glad they're not going to have to hear any complaining, and they'll be able to enjoy Sevilla drama-free. I loved it. I loved it. And then in Marysol, in her confessional, she says she needs a break between the ship between Adriana and Kiki and Stephanie's mini Mussolini moment. And I laughed so hard. And again, we see a flashback of the night before. Stephanie handed out jet memos that they were supposed to sign and hand back to her. Is this what I'm seeing?
Oh, and if you note, she only handed them out once they'd laughed at her joke. Because she and someone else made fun of Larsa going like, the house is on fire, ha, ha, ha. And then she's like, you're invited, you're invited. So she doesn't know, she does not understand friendship. She thinks that if you please the little king, then she will bestow friendship upon you. And friendship is utterly conditional, transactional, and unstable. So no wonder she has no friends.
Reminds me of another Mussolini I know. Who could that be?
Yeah.
The mango one? Anyway, that's not why we're here. Nobody called for this. We've got enough drama without bringing in this stuff.
No.
So Marysol tells Alexia that she should be the one to text Stephanie about their decision because she's more diplomatic than herself, who would be short and rude. And I appreciated the acknowledgement of her shortcomings, and also maybe a little bit like, I'm not going to deal. And then I appreciated Alexia's sense of pride that yes, my writing skills will be more diplomatic than yours right now. I think they're both buying their own bullshit, and I don't give a shit because it gives me Statler and Waldorf vibes, frickin' frack vibes, and I'm okay with it. I
love
approve.
It. It's why they're friends. You see why they're friends.
Totally.
I love it.
Totally. So Alexia starts a text and basically says to Stephanie, we need a mental break, which is true.
Every reason they gave is true. Stephanie trying to parse out which is true and which is false is wasted energy. Every reason they gave is right and true.
Mm-hmm.
You are annoying. They do need a mental break. They didn't like the threat. Everything there was not a lie in there. Nobody said, I'm sick, I have traveler's diarrhea. No, they all said, I need a mental break. I'm exhausted. I want time with my best friend. I don't like being threatened that I'm not going to have a seat back because my behavior will be scrutinized. Like, bye.
Mm-hmm.
So Stephanie trying to like catch someone in a lie is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
My God.
You're bad on every level, my dear.
She really has. She just must be surrounded by yes people everywhere that don't really, like, she doesn't have true connections with other human beings, I don't think.
Absolutely not. No, she's been anointed a boss by her wealthy husband. And so she moves through the space like a boss. And everyone in that space has a paycheck signed by her husband. And so they abide by her
Yep.
silliness and probably occasional smartness, but she's become accustomed to that as if that's reality. It's not. And
Gross.
when I've been in a situation to be a boss, like I'm not confused when people agree with me or laugh hard at my jokes. I know what's going on and I appreciate it, but I don't leave going like, I am the funniest, smartest. Like I just am like, these employees are doing their job, which a lot of the time is to energize your boss because they're tired, you know? And so that's what her employees do. And the housewives are not her employees. So you can't hand
Ooh, and
them.
she don't like that.
She don't at all.
Mm-mm.
She says she wants friends, but she doesn't, because friendship comes with discomfort, getting to know each other, learning boundaries, learning triggers, and she has no patience for it. She wants to be given.
Vulnerability.
Yeah, she wants to be given gifts. She wants to be told she's right, and she wants people to agree with her when she blames other people. And it's just like, you're almost 40. Yikes.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
Yikes
sad
is
for
right.
you. I hope Masood lives forever. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't know what the hell would happen to her if that part of her identity went away. Yikes.
Not my circus, not my monkey. No, thank you.
Fix
Good
your
luck.
family. Go.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Yikes.
You and your dad need to, Jesus Christ.
My God, I forgot about him. Ugh.
Oh, I mean, the source. That's the source. I just don't like how arrogant they are about themselves.
I hate it. It makes me furious.
Yeah.
You're just a person. Everybody poops.
Yeah. It makes it hard for me to be empathetic. Like, it's like when we met Stephanie's dad and he talked, it's like, okay, I can see where she got these fucked up values. And then it makes me think, okay, well, how did he get the fucked up values? Blah, blah, blah. But it's like, if there's that much conflict and you're not questioning why there's that much conflict, it's arrogance.
100%.
There's no willingness to resolve conflict.
No, and she's unwilling to look at herself. In this episode, she talks about echoes of her relationship with her sisters being played out with Marysol and Alexia. And I'm like, who's the common denominator, asshole? This is when my therapist would say to me, once is a coincidence, twice is a pattern. Look at yourself. So if I'm bitching about everyone around me, they're not doing this, and it's me. I'm the one at the center of the problem. But Stephanie will not, seems literally incapable of conceiving that she's not the sun, at the center of the solar system, and nothing can exist, orbit, live without her. It's wild. It's really wild.
It's so wild.
I hope the narcissist Instagram guys watching her, reporting on her. She just seems like pure narcissism.
100%.
In Gucci tights.
Unbridled. Yeah. You're not the first person to say about how stuff doesn't look like it fits her, because people on Reddit are like, why doesn't she just go to a tailor? Tailoring is everything. And if I'm investing in an expensive suit, I don't think getting it tailored is out of the realm of what comes along with it. Off the rack is still off the rack, and she seems to be shorter. And okay, get it tailored if you want to wear it. But yeah, again, the clothes are wearing her. She's not wearing the clothes.
Yeah. And they may even be tailored, but still the proportions are wrong, or the style isn't reading with her personality. Something is just
it's all manufactured. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, you're right. Because I wonder what she looked like when she grew up on the horse farm in Colombia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder that maybe that would make sense. I don't know. I don't know I don't know who she is. So, and her clothes are not helping me get to know her at all.
She doesn't know who she is. She's
Clearly.
not interested.
Yeah, you're right. That second part.
Damn, man, we haven't even left the lobby and we are a half hour in. This was a juicy episode and very exhausting to take notes for, because I had to look inside a lot.
Same.
Bravo and therapy intersecting is a fucking thing. Margie, go on. Sorry.
Yes. Adriana says she wants to talk things out with Kiki and clear the air, but Kiki is refusing to engage. Adriana says, I called her 3 times. She wouldn't talk to me. And I appreciated Adriana for letting it be. Instead of being victimized by that, I called her 3 times and she won't talk to me. She just said, she's not She's not ready, so I'm going to let it lie. And I was like, that is beautiful. And she's willing to put aside all of their issues for Julia's big day. This also bothered me. I'm like, this isn't a big day. It's not Julia's big day to choose the, and then Adriana misspoke and said the grandfather for her kids. They get on the Sprinter van. Alexia and Marysol have texted Gertie saying they're sorry they won't be there for Julia, but they talk to her and she understands. And Stephanie asks, how? What do you understand that I don't? And Julia, to her credit, just tells her the truth. After you threaten to abandon them if they misbehave, Julia says, Stephanie, we love you, but sometimes your delivery is very bossy. And I just wrote, this is why I love Miami. They tell the truth in the moment. They don't need a lie detector test party under the guise of a Persian New Year party in Orange County. So Orange County blew this week. And
Blue. The whole season is
Sucks.
piece of shit.
Garbage, trash, terrible.
I can't believe how many episodes in we are on that show. It is just, it's toxic. Like there's nothing fun to balance out the bullshit. They made New Orleans a slog.
I know.
Fuck you.
Honestly.
New Orleans is the most magical place in the lower 48. If you can't charm me, like that's not New Orleans' fault. That's your fucking fault.
Can you imagine if the Miami Housewives went to New Orleans? It would be the
God.
biggest party, good time. Like I can't, yeah. Orange County ruins everything.
They ruined it.
They ruined it. And they like kind of appropriated with Emily, like, I'm going to throw a Nowruz party. Just kidding. We're going to trap the one woman of color on this show. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm concerned. I think Katie has taken some bad actions there. But I was like, this is terrible. All of this feels awful. It felt awful. It was joyless.
No victims need to be perfect.
Yeah.
I think that, again, I just want to direct everybody back to what I believe. I think Heather was the one behind the scenes doing the research into Katie's, the custody issues with her children when they were little. I believe that Heather was the one that found it all out. I don't think that's going to be revealed till later, but it was already talked about on Reddit. I don't know. Maybe it is talked about already. I'm not sure. That's where I learned about it, was on Reddit. And then Emily, always happy to be the fucking mouthpiece. She loves to yak and never shut her mouth and listen. Whatever. We know she has a lot of childhood trauma too, but she's vile. Everyone, the pylon is disgusting. That whole cast is sick.
Really sick.
Yes.
Anyways, so Julia has said, Stephanie, we love you, but sometimes your delivery is very bossy. And Stephanie, proving her point, goes, you obviously don't think I'm that bossy if you're about to get on my plane. And Julia just goes, really, Stephanie? It's like, are you? But that's how unaware Stephanie is. Julia made a point. Stephanie proved it and then cries. So like, okay. And then
my God.
She backtracks immediately. Lisa thanks Stephanie for inviting them on the plane to kind of smooth this over. And Stephanie goes, you don't owe me a thank you. And I was like, are you fucking for real? You just snapped at Julia. You just bitched about Marysol and Alexia. You are a nightmare. She's a nightmare. And maybe it's just that she doesn't want to be who she is, but she needs to get into acceptance that she's like a high demand, self-centered, transactional person. Because the crying, I was just like, put it away. You manufactured your own misery, as they would say in 12-step rooms.
And then Larsa has the fucking audacity to lecture the group. You know, you call her a kiss ass if she does something nice for her, if she does something nice for us, but then you say she's dangling the plane. She is fucking dangling the goddamn plane. Anyone with eyes who's watched even one episode of this show, every single time she's on this screen, she's talking about this goddamn plane. So it's a no-win situation for her. And she wanted to include everyone, and it's $40,000 for fuel for a 22-minute flight. Why anyone knows how much it costs is disgusting.
And that's Stephanie's fault. If people know how much it costs, it's because Stephanie told them. And then, as Marysol later says, it's like, basically, it's not for fun and for free. You are being told how much we are costing you, which makes this absolutely joyless to participate in, because then I have to feel like I owe you $40,000 worth of good behavior entertainment, and that's bullshit. And so I'm with Marysol Alexia.
Yeah, dude,
Give me a
don't
latte at a
offer it.
cafe. Yeah, don't.
Don't offer it. Don't, like, who wants it? I'd rather be in a car for 3 fucking hours and look at the scenery on the way home. I don't fucking know.
Yes. There's other ways to get there. But I did appreciate Larsa being Larsa because she, as ridiculous as she is, you know, she's a slut for a private jet and she's unapologetic about it. And I'm fine with that, honestly. Like she at least she's not pretending to be something she's not. And Stephanie's pretending to be this like altruistic friend who just wants everyone to participate. That's not who you are. It's fully conditional to the point where part of some of those conditions are in writing. Like, you're psycho.
Yeah, no, I'm not as forgiving about Larsa. I get into it a little bit later after she's given me more ammunition, proof. See, that's where I am with her. I'm not
saying she's
I don't have
good.
graciousness.
I'm not saying she's good. I'm just saying she is who she is. There's lots of people in this world who I do not like, but at least they show themselves for who they are so I can understand that I don't like them and why. I hate people who present one way and then flip it on me. That's what I really hate. I can distance myself from people who are honest about who they are and I don't align with how they move. But if you tell me you move one way and then you flip on me, like at this stage of life, I find it unforgivable. I'm just like, stop. And you're dead to me. And I'm working on that in therapy too.
Totally. So we're on the plane. We're going onto the plane. Gertie says, let's turn up. Let's be here for Julia. And again, that's showing that Gertie is, I believe through her actions and her words, the conflict they've had is now in the past. Although I don't believe that if I'm Gertie that she should be that forgiving, but also Gertie has a very different perspective on life than I do. I think I would know how I would react if someone threw a glass of water at me at a dinner. I don't know what it's like to have a glass of water thrown at me after I've survived near death from a very debilitating and cruel disease. So Gertie has one up on me on that one. I am grateful as hell that I don't know what her experience is. And I am so sad for her that she does. And I acknowledge that she has more growth than me from her perspective in some ways because of that, you know?
But either way, it's like, it's that whole thing of like, I only harm myself if I carry the resentment.
You're
so
right.
I'm going to ruin my trip to Spain because I have to sit there with my arms crossed and punish Julia for something she'll never properly apologize for. Like, what am I? Why? I'm ruining my own life and time. And Gertie, I swear to God, in this moment, I feel like Gertie was being of service to Stephanie because Stephanie started this toast. Thank you for flying Shoma Air. Fuck you, first of all. And she goes, I'm happy that you guys are all here. And Gertie jumped right in saying, yay, Julia. And she tries to save Stephanie from herself, trying to stop her from turning this toast into like being a victim of Marysol and Alexia. And Gertie successfully did it by getting the energy up, and then they pull the shades down and turn stupid club lights on for 20 minutes of like party in the sky.
Also, like, don't jump on a teeny tiny tuna can plane. I don't know, like, sit down. Don't fuck anything up. Does anyone not remember the last 2 episodes of Seinfeld?
I don't. What happened?
Remember they're like trying to fly a private plane from New York to Paris, courtesy of NBC, who has signed on George and Jerry again to write their pilot. Kramer is he starts jumping on the private plane to get water out of his ears, and that fucks the pilot up. They almost crash. Then they have to do an emergency landing in some podunk town, and they have broken a Good Samaritan law, and then they're on trial. So if Kramer hadn't been jumping around in the fucking plane, these assholes would have been able to take their assholes just straight to Paris instead of fucking up some small town person and then having to go to court. Not the best series finale of all time, especially for a show like that, but there's lots of things that's problematic about that show in hindsight. Oh, but I digress. No one called to talk about Seinfeld.
No, I asked.
Okay.
And I'm a believer in, I had one experience where I jumped in an elevator and it got stuck. And now anything that goes up and down, I do not jump. But I do think the camera was doing more work than the ladies were. It seemed like upper bodies for them, and the camera and the lights were doing the heavy lifting to make that look like a party. And again, it was 20 minutes. And Stephanie like congratulating herself for like, that's why you have jet-etiquette, because all these rules kept that flight peaceful. And like the 20-minute flight, we've been talking for like an hour, like 20 minutes. Oh God, I can't stand her.
Dude, she's
She makes me
insufferable.
crazy.
She's trying so hard to be memeable. Jet-etiquette.
The second episode in a row, and I really love the editors for leaving it in. It's like, thank you to whoever wrote that, and kindly hang it up now, Stephanie. It's not catching on. It's not cute. It's not interesting or funny. And it doesn't make me think, oh, she's so rich. She has a whole different language to talk about jets. Like, shut up.
Dude, stop trying to make fetch happen.
Truly.
Idiot. Boring. One note. Not interested.
And then we cut over to Marysol and Alexia sitting outside texting on their phones. So we go from this like club party in a jet. And honestly, I was like, I would love to be in either place. I could have a blast being on a party jet, and I would also delight on being on a couch on a rooftop in Sevilla, like texting on my phone next to my bestie. So
So funny.
I loved it.
It was so funny. Yes,
and they looked totally at peace, you know?
Totally,
It looked
completely at
blissful.
peace.
Yep. It's great.
Yeah, they looked like the weight of the world was not upon them.
They made a good choice for themselves.
100. So they touched down in Marbella, and in Julia's confessional, she says it's different than Sevilla in that it's similar to Miami. It's more cosmopolitan. You can dance till 6 a.m. I can understand the appeal. I wouldn't say no to going there.
Oh my God, it looked gorgeous. I will just touch on Stephanie can't help herself. So Gertie cut her off before she could get mad about Alexia and Marysol on their way out. So Stephanie makes sure to stop the partying and tell everyone, before we touch down, I just want to say that those two prioritized making me look bad over being with Julia to, in her words, pick the godparents of her parents. Oops. Basically just implying that Julia doesn't or they don't love Julia enough to take their shoes off and put toilet paper in a trash can or whatever. And everybody on the plane is wildly uncomfortable, silent, still. And then Stephanie like trots off to a seat all by herself, sitting alone, you know, and again, the plane is silenced because she's a brat. And she goes, whoever doesn't agree, you're not okay. And I was like, you're not okay. Julia already said she's unbothered. You look at everyone. They're all annoyed. This is exactly why Alexia and Marysol didn't come, right as they're about to have a good time. 19 minutes into a good time, your bitch ass does this. You put a whole wet towel on the whole fucking thing, and they all have to struggle to get out from underneath it, and they do. But like, fuck you, man. I do not want to hang out with you. You are a nightmare.
Complete nightmare.
Ruined her own trip.
Dude. Oh, she's just so, and she doesn't see shit.
No.
Staggering, man. It's like mouth agape staggering levels to me.
But thank God, hard to be in a bad mood when you pull up to Villa Moana.
Oh my God, dude.
And this is, you know, they start playing White Lotus music and they lean into that pretty hard. But it does really look like one of the locations from season 2.
Yeah. Until I see the decor, and I was like, oh, this is outdated and not stylish. But yes, absolutely. Full White Lotus.
It did look like a set.
Yes. Lisa says she feels classy there. She's just real hilarious.
And I believe her. She's just telling the truth. It's so funny.
Totally.
And then Derek enters, Julia's friend, and I found him kind of creepy, the way he greeted all the women, calling them beautiful, and then like cuddling his word against Larsa's boobs. He just was, I get it, but like, I don't know.
They were so effusive to meet him after they've walked through this like luxuriously appointed, massive, is it a hotel, is it a house, kind of a dwelling.
Is it a theme park?
You know, even typical like low blood pressure Larsa is like very effusive in her greeting. And
True.
Is it because obviously you need to be real fucking rich or know how to appear real fucking rich? Larsa really likes that. She likes proximity to that kind of stuff and
loves it.
So she's gonna turn it up. She's gonna turn it up for Stephanie. She's gonna turn it up for Derek. Ew.
So right.
Yeah, man.
And then Julia says that Derek and Jeffrey have been friends with her and Martina for 15 years. Jeffrey had to be away, which sounds like what they said about Teresa Giudice when she was in prison, but okay.
Yeah, that was weird too.
He didn't want
Just
to be
say
on
he's
camera.
out of town. Or yeah, exactly.
Then we bring in Chris, some other guy later. This all of a sudden I was like, oh, this is Julia putting on a show for the adoption agency that said, will there be male influences in their life? And in order to finalize the boys' adoption and get approval, she's trying to show the role models that she will be putting in their life. But it was a bit of a misstep, as the next thing Derek says is, look at all the handsome men who look after me. They look after me. And I was like, oh no.
More transactional relationships.
Yeah.
More exploitative.
That's it. That is it.
transactional
More than
relationships.
transactional. It's like I hire hot young boys to populate my space and they take care of me for money.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, bleh.
Right.
Yeah. I was not cool with that. I was very cool with Lisa's immediate like clocking of, oh, this is like, these fancy gays are going to try to kill me.
She got it right. I was
She
impressed.
did. She did. Anyway, hilarious.
And Julia reports that her daughters spent summers there with kids, and Derek and Jeffrey have been supporting Julia as she is navigating this estrangement from her daughters after not giving them enough time to adjust to the adoption of 2 toddler boys. Like, I think I can understand. And Julia says, they've been giving me the best advices, just giving me their shoulder to talk to. And then I was like, oh my God. And then she says, or cry, but it made me laugh.
It grossed me out. Like, again, it's like she and Stephanie are just so unwilling to do. Maybe it's that it's too painful.
I think for Julia, that's it.
She cannot accept the fact that her poor judgment deeply hurted 2 people. Deeply hurted? Hurted? Is hurted a word? It's not.
I don't know.
Deeply hurt. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I fucked up right there. Oh, I think that, she can't deal with the fact that she deeply hurt her daughters and is just looking for any way to rationalize her part in it. Man, it's gross.
I think she really tried to get away with ask forgiveness, not permission, in a situation that involves 2 toddler human beings. And now she's regretful because it didn't break her way. And so now she's weirdly sideways, slightly blaming her daughters, which you're right is in alignment with Stephanie calling everyone else too sensitive and emotional. It's like, ooh, actually, even if you don't agree with them, what if they have a point? What if what you did was rash and inconsiderate? And anyways, Julia's whole take on this situation could be sympathetic, but because she just won't acknowledge, she keeps saying they think this, they think that, instead of saying, I sprung something on them and I'm having to sit in the discomfort of waiting for them to forgive me. It's just like, they need more time. They this, you call them, as opposed to like, you change the whole trajectory of their lives by bringing in 2 brothers that they're going to have to take care of, split inheritance with, there's a lot that you guys just did.
This is a huge decision, Mom, and you didn't choose to tell us until I didn't, the way she phrases it, I didn't give them enough time. They didn't feel like I gave them enough time to process this. Bruh.
And how much time did you give? Or did you just go like, you'll never believe what happened. We have 2 boys. That's what I think happened. And she expected them to be like, oh my God, you've been waiting for that for so long. We're so happy for you. But instead they were like, hey, logistically, what the fuck? Martina's just got through 2 cancers. So let's be realistic about how much time she's going to have to invest in their growing up. And then what when you also, what are we doing?
Right.
Those kids are young enough to be Julia's daughter's kids. So I would feel a certain level of responsibility that I would have been appreciative of having a discussion about before they were, before the commitment was made. Not to say that I would never say no, but I would love to think through what the next 20 years look like.
Mm-hmm.
And to be left out of that, I would have a hard time forgiving that call too. It's pretty shocking.
Shocking. It's incomprehensible to me. My brain is broken trying to figure out how Julia would have thought that that was okay. Whatever. Thank God I can't understand her. Thank God. Or maybe I need to cultivate more empathy. I don't fucking know, man. Who cares? I'm exhausted talking about her. So they move towards a table to have some champagne. And while they're walking over there, Jeffrey tells them, yeah, this place is kind of old and crappy. That's kind of why he likes it too. And Adriana in her confessional is like, okay, well, listen, if this is old and crappy, I shouldn't be too offended by what Kiki called me the night before.
That's great. And then Derek opens the floor for any reports of anything exciting going on in their lives. And this is when my heart broke open for Lisa. She chimes in to report that she's officially divorced as of yesterday. And we see this flashback of her on the phone with Jody, who alerts her to a message that she reads in real time on camera. And it broke my heart because it was just the most comprehensive, real reaction I've ever seen on TV of receiving that news that the divorce was final. And we see her read, "You're officially divorced." She gasps, "I'm officially divorced? Wow. Okay." And like that's the whole cycle of someone going through divorce in 4 sentences. It's like, it's happening. Holy fuck. It's real. Wow. Okay, onward. And like, obviously she'll struggle with different phases of that moving forward, but it was really raw. And like that okay was one of the most like profound words I've ever seen uttered on my TV screen. I can't believe I'm saying that about Lisa Hochstein. But in that moment, I was like, damn, something changed in her. If you're able to get to saying okay with that kind of resolve and like sense of like, I don't know who I am now, but this is who I am now. Let's figure her out. Here we go.
Yeah, it was wild. And the editors just like they hone in on Larsa's face. Larsa is just still, she's got nothing but contempt for Lisa, even with this news. And it's gross. In this moment, because you know how she used to be best friends with Kim and I think Chloe. I can't stand that fucking family. I cannot stand that family. I don't give a shit. She can say that she's a lawyer and, you know, is for prison reform. I'm sorry. I can't at all. And so their friendship ended unceremoniously. Like people on the internet
You
are
know
like,
why?
I know.
Because Larsa would not unfollow Kanye. And this is Kanye,
Well.
old, like new Kanye. Okay? This is the Kanye that Kim divorced when he was really going wild and being hateful and awful on a global scale in addition to on a personal scale to her friend. And I know everybody's like, it's Instagram, follow, unfollow, but it matters when you're the person who needs support. And if my friends ask me to unfollow someone, I will unfucking follow them. And if I need to see their shit, I'll start a fake account. But Larsa wouldn't do it. And so she was, excommunicated, rightly so.
Fascinating. I did not know that was the
And now
reason.
she's coming, for Lisa for, you know what I mean? It's just like, girl, you are a mess.
She made me sign aside with that family in this moment. And that was like, that's saying something about how shitty you are.
And this is where Lisa did not take the bait, because Lisa even turns to Larsa to be like, nothing, really? And Larsa's like, and she was like, okay. And then just turned to the people who did have their glasses raised. And I was like, damn, that's evolved for Lisa.
It is. It really is. It really is. And yeah, dude, Gertie in her confessional says, come on, Larsa, we've been hearing nonstop about Lenny for 2 years. This is a win for all of us. And then Larsa in her confessional says, what am I toasting for? She's going to continue fighting with Lenny. And this is a pause, not an end. And I was like, is she projecting? Did she and No Tippin go through this after their divorce was finalized? Or is she correctly predicting their behavior based on Lenny and Lisa's past behavior? I don't fucking know, but Jesus, man, just no empathy.
And she's wrong. It's like, there's now a legal document on file that all parties have signed. So even if there is fighting, it will all come back to this document and the answers will. So all of the fighting over the past 2 years has been starting from everybody wanting what they want and coming to terms. And now every decision will be based on those terms. So it's not there. Of course, there will still be arguing, but now there's terms. So it just won't have legs anymore. And Larsa knows that because she's been through it. And so she's just being petty Pippin. And there you have it.
Pass.
Yeah. A new boy arrives on the scene because Julia's trying to parade male role models through our screens. Chris, who we hear nothing from, learn nothing about, but he gets a Chiron. So there's Chris. And Larsa tells Julia she wishes Alexis and Marysol came. And Julia, again, very even-keeled, another version of the Serenity Prayer, just goes, I don't hold it against them. I wish they were here. But now I just wish for a fun day. It's like, yeah.
Larsa just has to get those digs in, and she'll be like, what? I was just saying blah, 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 blah. Like she's manipulative as hell, and she's disgusting.
And I think she's doing it, like you said, for Stephanie's benefit, to show like, I'm on your side, Private Jet. I'm on your side. Look at what I'm doing. I think she was trying to get something stirred up so that Stephanie would have a foothold to be a dick.
You're right, because in this confessional, Stephanie says she's pissed, and you can see she's just incredulous that Julia is giving them a whole pass on missing an important day of her life. Stop it. Stop thinking that you are on par with a saint, because I don't believe for a minute that she's doing all of this for Julia. If she is, it's because she wants to get in good graces, and she wants to favor. She wants to, what's the curry favor? Curry favor?
Mm-hmm.
She wants to curry favor, but she's doing it with her shit. She's doing it with her material things versus really, you know what I'm saying. And it's disgusting. She feels rejected, and she's a Jedicate Miami Mussolini. Fuck her.
And it just further proves she does not understand friendship at all. Friendship is being forgiving when your friends hit a limit and they can't do what you want them to do when you want them to do it. Like,
right.
You can't get your way all the time. So,
and if Julia's okay with it, then
yes.
Shut up and talk to somebody else offline about it. Like,
right.
Goddamn, I cannot believe she's okay with this.
And if it's really her day, then let it be about her, but she can't. Yeah. She's all about that cosmic scoreboard, and you cannot have relationships with human beings if you need everything to be fair according to your terms all the time.
Oh.
That's not friendship. That's manipulation. That's transactional. That's all the things we've already said. But
yeah, scorekeeping, not
yep.
cool. Yep. So we go back to Sevilla, and we see Alexia and Marysol at a cafe, just really just effusive about how I look at this coffee, que rico, like just so happy with these simple things. I love hearing the two of them speak Spanglish. I love hearing them speak Spanish. I could do it for a whole fucking episode. I would love like a big brother of them just like walking around, just like, I don't give a shit, like hidden camera style. I just want to observe them in their natural habitat, speaking Spanglish. Oh, it's so funny for me. I just love it.
They're grateful to have a peaceful day out from under the tyranny of Stephanie. That's where I dropped that word in, because she is a little tyrant.
She is. They're glad they're there in peace. They're over the drama. They're over the plane. And they bring up what we've been talking about this whole time. Sharing this plane shouldn't be conditional or threatening. And Marysol says, I should teach etiquette because my delivery is kind. And then there's a flashback to her delivery being pointedly unkind. And she says she gets it from her mom. And we have a flashback of Mama Elsa not holding back her deliveries either. So, rewriting of history. That's what makes a housewife a housewife.
I couldn't tell if she was trying to be funny and Alexia didn't get it, or if she was trying to
bullshit.
Yeah, I really couldn't tell, because that's how I was like, she can't mean that. But I don't know if she did or she didn't. And that's the beauty of Marysol. And then we see her FaceTiming with a flashback to her FaceTiming with Richard Branson. And he's on, that Zoom background that's like a beach with wind blowing through a palm tree? Do you remember
Is it
that?
a known Zoom broad?
I just saw it a bunch during the pandemic. And so anyways, Richard Branson looks like he's against that background, but obviously he's on his island, I'm sure. So it's real, but it just made me laugh. He's like perfectly centered in this very like, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, as a wedding gift to Marysol, Richard will host the girls for a 2-night cruise on one of his cruise ships, I guess, or his boat. And Marysol says she's excited for that because on his plane and his boats, there's no rules. You can smoke, you can poop, you can do whatever you want.
Oh my God, what the fuck? Richard Branson. I don't even know
That
what to
was
say.
I don't either. And it was so short. Like it was the short
Yeah.
and crazy.
Calling him Richard. I mean, well, that's his name, but like still
It
like,
is.
oh, like Richard. Richard
But then
Branson.
in her confessional, she referred to him as Dick. You know, it was just like, oh my God,
I
I don't know
know.
what we're doing.
I don't either.
Well, we're on to Seafood Fest at Villa Moana. And of course, I'm a child, so I wrote the chairs moving on the floor sounded like farts. And this is where Lisa has her like comedy extravaganza moment where she says all the quiet parts out loud. I love this rich people dinner. I want to feel classy. I feel like I need to be like super elegance. I want to talk like rich people language. Do you have any Grey Poupon? Let me just get a little of that lovely whatever that sauce is. Like she's just not. She's trying so hard and she can't access rich person language. And I loved it.
It was so funny.
She's so committed and so off the mark.
Very. And I was like, is she neurospicy or is she drunk or is it both? You know, is it both?
It was delightful. Whatever was going on, I was like, I want to have Lisa's time at this party because
Totally.
It's light and fun and great. And then she makes this drunken, pretty contentless toast saying that she wishes Marysol and Alexia were there, and Stephanie makes it about her and goes, "That's nice." And I was literally from my couch, I was like, "Shut up. Just shut up." Then Lisa tries to pour some out for them, and Gertie, again, to the rescue, is like, "They're not homies who are dead in LA. Put it down."
Oh my God, dude. In Larsa's confessional, she says, "This is embarrassing. And it reminds me of the playoff music at award shows. That's what Lisa needs." And I was like, shut up. Just anything Lisa does, she's going to be pissed at. I understand that. I just don't understand any other parts about Larsa. But, you know, I'm just being honest about my imperfections. Yeah. So Julia says, what a great day it is. And she asks Derek in front of the group if he and Jeffrey will be godparents to her boys, and he accepts. And Julia says she wants to take a private walk with her boys, which again, I don't. Chris.
Who the fuck is Chris?
Who are these boys?
Barely
right?
know Derek. And they call Martina to introduce the boys over FaceTime. The kids to Derek.
They're being introduced to their godfather, one of their godfathers in real time on FaceTime. I don't understand Julia's choices. Thank God. I'm grateful for that. In Adriana's confessional, she says she's happy for Julia, happy for the boys, but it's bittersweet because she never got asked, and it would be nice if she could be the godmother. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And then Stephanie FaceTimes Masood and tells him she didn't realize the world was so harsh. You don't know the half of it. I guess this trip has been so hard on her. Her 22-minute flight, her indulgent seafood lunch. Like, honestly, what do you want? You cannot be pleased, and I hate you. She says she likes her bubble, and Masood reminds her that she is under his wing, and it's comfy there. So here are two rich people who are just going to remain disconnected from the rest of the world because if they're not hired people who say yes to everything they want, they're just, it's not for them. So great.
Barf.
Truly.
Barf. And here is where we cut to the scene of Kiki telling Gertie, from Haiti to a mansion in Marbella. And they start dancing. Kiki asks if her light twerking is ratchet. And Gertie says, actually, yeah, it is, lol. And I loved that. I loved it. And Kiki says, she tells Gertie, I'm not going to talk to Adriana here on this day. Maybe when we get to Miami, maybe if it's worth my time, I'll consider it. And I just wrote, take notes, Larsa. She doesn't have to do anything about it right now. I'll have what Kiki's having because she does not seem bothered. She seems resolute.
Kiki and Gertie both. Like, again, like you said, with Julia, Gertie sets aside everything. Kiki sets aside everything with Adriana, but remain open to like being I don't know. It's really, yeah, this trip to Spain could have been so much worse, but they were all committed to it being great. And they made it so by setting aside whatever differences they were having until they organically came up or just leaving them alone for this visit to Spain. I loved it.
I loved it. I loved it.
And then I feel like I need to ask you about this because Adriana tells Lisa that the word ratchet was misinterpreted. What she was saying was wretched. And she plays the pronounced word on like the Google Translate app or whatever. And it does sound really similar. And in the flashback, it's one of those things where it's like, depending on what I'm listening for, it's what I hear. I don't know. I don't know what happened. It seems like something she drummed up because if it were me in the moment, I would have said wretched, W-R, you know what I mean? I would have like helped that along a little bit, but I can't tell what happened. So it seems like you don't buy it. You don't buy it at all. Okay.
My note was, I'm
Problematic
absolutely
fave
calling
moment?
bullshit. Yes,
Okay.
I said that exactly. I'm like, Adriana, you are my problematic fave, but I'm absolutely calling bullshit.
Because it also seems at the end when she apologized, she said, like, she didn't say what I meant was this other word. She said, basically just, I'm sorry for using that word. So anyways, I don't know what the fuck she was doing. I got confused. So onward. Then we have Julia and Derek, and Julia's talking about her daughters crying on Derek's shoulders. What do I do? And Derek reiterates what Julia's brother has already said, give them time. And Derek rightly observes that Julia is impatient, and I would add manipulative as fuck, because Derek says he'll call them to try to smooth things over. And while I believe that Julia loves and misses them, I think she fucked up, and this is what it looks like when someone can't allow another person time to process a wound that they caused, you know? And it is painful. But like, don't involve other people. That's weirder. And I think it's fucking gross that Martina would say, if she really did say this, like, what if I get another cancer? Is that the only time they'll come back? It's like, they know how bad Martina's health is, and that's how bad your decision was. They know that. And if they're the good people you say they are, then you better believe that's how fucking intensely you harmed them by doing this. Is that they're willing to step away, risking time with Martina. I don't know. Guilting and shaming them on camera is going to cause more problems, dude. Like, go to Al-Anon immediately. Do not pass go. You're making it worse. Ick.
Taking a page out of the Tamara Judge playbook on how to deal with an estranged child is something I can't understand. And that's all it reminded me of. Tamara
So
and
right.
Julia are willfully choosing to not look at themselves. I am stunned. I can't believe it. I practice repair with my son anytime I need to. Anytime I need to. I practice immediate repair. I'm so sorry. You're right. I can understand why you're having this reaction to me right now, and I can see where I could have done something better. That's all it is, man. And that is doing nothing but showing my kid he's in a safe space. His experiences with his parents are as important as our experiences with him. We respect him is what I'm trying to say. I don't think these people respect their children.
Clearly not, because otherwise she would have said, I think people don't realize how far it goes just to say, like, I fucked up so bad. I'm in so much pain over the pain I caused them. And I'm having such a hard time tolerating the distance that I created. If I'm a daughter and I'm watching my mom say that on TV, I'm on the phone in 5 minutes. If I'm a daughter and I'm watching her say, but Martina has cancer and it's already been too long and the boys, it's like, ugh. Now I'm farther away than you could. You just put a current under me that whisked me deeper out to sea. Good fucking luck seeing me again. Like, it's so insane. And to feel, if those girls feel at all blamed for their reaction, Julia is just creating like really a pretty impossible distance to bridge.
This is alienation. The only thing she's going to get from this is alienation.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
It's sad. It's
Yeah, it's
sad for
very
all
sad.
of them. For including the
those little
boys.
boys,
Yeah.
yes.
And the
Mhm.
daughters too. They're losing their mom and they're losing an opportunity for a relationship with those boys, and it would be so solvable if Julia could just say, I tried to get away with something because I really wanted this. It was fucking selfish of me. Whenever you're ready to come to the table and talk about how we face the next 20 years, I'm here. I am seated, and I will see you whenever you are ready for me. But like instead, boo-hooing on Derek's shoulder and making him call them to say fucking what? I would be so offended if I got a phone call from a family friend saying like, your mother's upset. I'd be like, yeah, I know. So am I. Anything else? Bye. Ick.
And Julia can't take it. She can't take the discomfort of giving them time. It's hurting her. Fuck you. Fuck you.
And like that can be part of it, but do not lead with that. You caused the initial wound. Yes, it hurts me when I've hurt someone I love, but if I hurt someone I love, it's in their time. Unless and until they forgive me, I don't get to have any fucking demands of them. And if they're not going to forgive me, then I need to grieve them and move on with my life. And that's easier said than done, but I've done it. It's sad, but like, if I've caused enough harm that someone cannot see past it to forgive me, then I don't need to be around people who don't love me. And if I really gave it my best try, like, gotta go.
Agreed. So I just don't look at her or Tamra with anything but disgust when they talk about their children. I just really don't.
It's just sad to me. It just fills me with this like
Dread
feeling.
Yeah, it's toxic. It's sludgy. The dysfunction. Watching a parent not put their children above their own egos is I'm so uncomfortable. I'm viscerally uncomfortable watching it, and absolutely on the side of the children.
But here's why this franchise is amazing, because we go from that like utterly devastating scene to dresses. Everybody gets a delivery of their fancy custom-made flamenco dresses to
Delivered dresses, even better.
By the most like charming little delivery boy I've ever seen in my life. He's so darling. I loved him. And everybody's thrilled to get their dresses. Nobody's like put out by having to get like, it's just such a different attitude on this show. I love them all. They're goers. They're up for whatever. And then they all meet in the lobby in their dresses, and Marysol tells Stephanie she's sorry she missed them yesterday, but she wanted a day with Alexia because, and it's true, I forgot, this whole trip was originally for Alexia, so okay. And Alexia tells Larsa that they weren't there because Marysol felt strongly about Stephanie's rule mandate and that it just didn't feel like safe or fun to participate. And I just wrote, all of these reasons are true. Everything was a factor. There's no mystery here. We're not trying to figure out which is which. It's all of it. So,
porque no los dos. Totally. And in her confessional, Stephanie says, the story keeps changing. What is it? Do they not want to be my friend? They don't want to go on my plane. Do they not want to be my friend? Yeah, gross.
Yeah, and at this point, they don't. And like, that's what you need to come to terms with. If you want to be a worthy friend, you got to behave. And it doesn't mean you're out of the running at this point, but like, you got to correct some of your behavior. You can't just be like, well, they don't want to be my friend, so fuck them. The people who were on my plane are, it's just yuck. She's
so
12.
Yuck. I appreciated Marysol's like pettiness. Like, I know that this shit is fairly foobar right now, but I don't want to lose a deposit. I was like, dude, I get it. I mean,
this was a big, extravagant thing she put together. They take horse-drawn carriages through the Plaza de España for Stephanie's birthday surprise. They all get in carriages, 3 each. And Stephanie says she loves the smell of like horse's butt because it reminds her of the farm she was raised on. And in the plaza, this is really lovely. Musicians sing her happy birthday. She weeps and FaceTimes Masood. And Julia tells the girls that they did this to make Stephanie feel special and welcome. And again, even after all of her bullshit yesterday, they're able to set it aside and really invest in Stephanie. They weren't sitting there punishing her for yesterday with their arms crossed, being like, even though you were a bitch yesterday, we're still going to do this. They were like, have this. We love that you love this. We love seeing your happy tears. Yes, they're great. And Gertie even says to Julia, this is epic, you know? And then she says to me, what is the thesis statement of this whole episode? And Stephanie doesn't have a lot of girlfriends, so this is really special for her. And I was like, yep.
Wonder why.
Yeah, I think we all know. So this will be a once in a lifetime special event unless she gets some help. But
And Julia tells Stephanie that she and Marysol both planned this, emphasizes Marysol planned it too. Marysol planned it too. Marysol planned it too. And in Stephanie's confessional, she says she's confused because she stepped out the day before. Bitch!
again, it's like, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Right.
You want to punish Marysol more than you want to enjoy a whole plaza reserved for your birthday celebration? Like, God, my God.
I know.
But she does seem momentarily pleased because she only pulls Alexia to talk, confronting her about what happened yesterday. And Alexia says Marysol should be part of this conversation because they were both involved in making that decision. And Stephanie says, well, Marysol threw this for my birthday. So if you give the little king a gift, she'll back down. So gross.
Maybe she should run for the highest office in the land.
I mean,
Again, no one called for that. I'm sorry, but I have to say
yeah,
it.
I don't like to talk about him, but there's definitely parallels. And
Parallels.
Alexia says to her, like, we don't have to talk based on your rules, you know? And Alexia goes on and just explains, I needed a day to myself. And Stephanie says she felt something different was going on. And Alexia says, well, I don't want I don't want you to take it personal. And Stephanie just cuts her off and goes, I let you finish. And I was like, listen to her. She's trying to say it wasn't personal. Like, but she won't let her finish. She's determined to be a bitch and have a fight and a screaming match. And she does. And it escalates. And it escalates. Alexia does agree with Stephanie that they didn't take kindly to the threat of being left behind if they were to misbehave. And then Stephanie flat out lies and says Alexia wanted to leave Lisa behind, which is not true. And it's on tape. And all the women have now heard the noise and they're all gathering. And now Lisa and Larsa are chipping at each other. And God bless Kiki for observing, like, now this is ratchet. Women in custom flamenco dresses screaming at each other in Plaza de España.
In
That's
front
ratchet.
of so many other people that are there to enjoy
Embarrassing.
themselves. Humiliating.
Truly.
Humiliating. Absolutely.
On behalf of America, we do all apologize for this moment in time. Shameful.
Seriously. So we focus on a conversation between Stephanie, Marysol, and Alexia. And Alexia's like, dude, you were dangling the fucking plane. Stephanie said, you lied about why you stayed behind. Alexia's like, both can be fucking true. And then we get another thesis. We get more evidence where Stephanie's major malfunctions originate. This is just like my sisters. And we see the flashback to her saying they're so sensitive. My note says, ugh, fuck her. She tells us their behavior is really triggering for her because of her sisters. And I said, yeah, because you're not controlling the situation.
And if you're triggered, you're sensitive by definition. So I guess you spot it, you got it.
You spot it, you got it, bitch.
And it's not about Alexia and Marysol. If it's hysterical, it's historical. You're yelling at your sisters right now. So
very much so. And then Stephanie tells Kiki, Gertie, and Adriana, and she really believes this. Alexia is so threatened by my friendship with you guys that she had to split up the group. I just
she does not understand friendship. She does not know what the word means. That was crazy.
It was wild. I couldn't. I would never be able to twist something like that. I'm not capable of it, Margie. I don't know how I would do it.
It was literally bonkers. But it led to, Kiki is saying, Adriana and I were able to put aside our differences. And Adriana goes headfirst into it. She says, by the way, Kiki, I owe you an apology. And Kiki says, I accept your apology. And then admits her wrongdoing, that she can have a sharp tongue when she feels attacked, and she's working on it. And Adriana in her confessional says this thing that I loved. She said, we all have times where we put our foot in our mouth and we misspeak. So I am forgiving myself and I am forgiving Kiki. And I feel like my therapist would love me to get this tattooed on my forehead. I am forgiving myself and I am forgiving the person who harmed me. If I could do that, I would live the most peaceful fucking life. If I could stop punishing myself and needing others to be punished on the cosmic scoreboard, my life would be a dream. So, goals.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Those are the roots of my problems, and that would be the solution to my problems. And it's just such it can be such a painful road to get there, and it takes a lot of untangling, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And that's where my work is focused right now. And I know that there's nothing else. There's no other rock to look under. It's what you just said. Me not being able to forgive others and definitely not being able to forgive myself or have compassion for others or having compassion for myself. Same thing, just different words, different nuances, but absolutely.
And when you see how willing both of them are to unburden themselves, Adriana's like, I owe you an apology. And Kiki's like, I receive it. And now everything's better. It's so much better than being like Stephanie, who's like, yeah, but. Oh, you threw me this birthday party, but yesterday you said, nah. It's like, is that how you want to fucking live your life? Margie, I'm talking to myself. Because but I could but until I'm 6 feet under. But like, I would rather be Kiki and Adriana in this moment. And I hope I can remember this week to week, but we'll see.
You do more than you know. Yeah.
I can be a petty Pippin from time to time myself, but I was really glad to see that little moment. And it was so great that it happened in flamenco gowns. Like, this show fucking rules.
And I did appreciate Kiki in her confessional saying, listen, I know I can have a sharp tongue. And if you lunge at me, I can hurt you with a simple word. And I was like, oh, I can't relate to that one little fucking bit. Bill at Walgreens. Can't relate at all. Absolutely can't relate. But she's working on it. And I love that humility about her too. Like, she's like, listen, I'm not fucking 100% innocent in here. And then Kiki says, about my ageism last night.
Yeah.
By the way, you're so beautiful. I've always thought you were so beautiful, Adriana, and let go of what the world says about age. And I was like, yes, and can you see how that's kind of weird coming from you after what you already said? Apology or not, like, you know, it is lowest common denominator to shame somebody for their age, shame somebody for their body size, shame somebody for anything that doesn't align with what society's expectations are of you to be considered beautiful or acceptable in our culture today. But again, not perfect yet. And they both seem happy with each other and heard by the other person. So that's all I need to focus on.
Yeah. And now that you've clarified for me that wretched was a lie, I can appreciate Adriana not trying to get out of this with some like loophole backdoor bullshit. She was just like, I said something shitty. I know it. And I'm fucking sorry. And Kiki was like, you did. I appreciate it. I accept your apology. And also, when I called you old, that was mean. So great. And onward.
I thought that was so mature of Adriana. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm projecting. I don't know exactly what was going on. But what it looked like to me is that even if she was super tempted to offer, let's say it was true. Let's say she was saying wretched and not ratchet. That wasn't how it landed. And so she's focusing on how it landed with her friend versus what she meant. What her side was, where she was coming from, didn't have relevance. And she didn't have, her ego was not as demanding as her need for connection and honesty and true amends. So wherever she was coming from wasn't relevant.
It's that whole like intent versus impact.
Yes.
Thing of like, your intention is irrelevant if someone was harmed by your behavior.
Yes.
And I'm speaking to myself as well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm rarely motivated by from a bad place, but I often make choices that hurt people. So I've gotten good at apologizing after years of practice, you know. You can see it on screen in that moment. They both look lighter and they both look relieved to have been able to say, my part, sorry. Apology accepted, moving
Completely.
on.
And it speaks also to Kiki being moved. The day before, she was saying to Gertie, I don't know. I can definitely I'm willing to wait until Miami. This day is not appropriate. And if I feel like I want to do that, I will. And all it took was a little bit from Adriana, and she was completely open. No fucking notes on this whole
Truly.
thing.
And Adriana, like listening, that was an organic opening. She didn't start that day going like, I'm going to apologize today. No matter what, I'm going to chase Kiki down and I'll find a time. She was just like, oh, there's the opening for me to say like, by the way, I owe you an apology. Like it was so, I don't know. It was lovely.
I agree. I agree. What a ride this whole episode.
Truly.
Just so many things. And we're still not done. So back at the hotel, Marysol and Adriana are sitting at the bar, and Marysol is just saying how horrible this day was. Lisa, Alexia, and Julia have their drinks on the roof. Stephanie and Larsa are in Stephanie's room, and Stephanie, again, she just has to look for any reason other than the simple ones to figure out, to like, how could this have happened? Well, Marysol is two-sided.
She's just fixated on finding someone to blame.
Yeah.
She can't fixate on the dresses that Marysol had made and what the lengths Julia and Marysol went to create this gorgeous day. She's still like, well, maybe is it more Alexia than Marysol? Or, and she relates it again to the dynamic with her sisters. And I'm just like, you're sad. Your life is sad. You're so trapped. Ugh. It must be so fucking lonely. But she did it to herself.
Don't want anything she has. Don't want that jet. Don't want that bazaar. Don't want that wall of Birkins.
Not if it means I have to be Stephanie.
Right?
And then in total contrast to that, we go back to the rooftop with Lisa, Julia, and Alexia, who are, talking about the ongoing tension between Lisa and Larsa for a beat. And then they catch a whiff of incense and they notice that a gigantic funeral procession is going by. And it stops them in their tracks and it gives them instant perspective. And this is what I appreciate about these women is they are so not dug in to how they're feeling at any given moment that they're like, oh my God, what are we doing bickering about? Like life is too short. We don't have enough time to give a shit about Larsa's reaction to your divorce announcement. I mean, this is partly why I loved that death doula training is like there's such awe and reverence around death. It's very hard to be a human being and witness something like what they saw. The streets were packed. There was a huge processional following a coffin. Like, it's hard not to look at that and be like, it's so fragile and it's so important, like the time we have here and who we spend it with and how we spend it. I do think it was like a sign from the heavens that who was it? Lisa walked out there and saw like a patio umbrella and was like, that looks like Jesus. It's like, it does look like something otherworldly was trying to get their attention to be like, please stop talking about follows and unfollows of Larsa. And can we move it along, guys? Life has bigger things for you. I loved it.
Larsa and Stephanie's interpretation of this, though, and the way that they are approaching it is just... I mean, they are also acknowledging Jesus in that moment because of the funeral. But the prayers they ask for, I was like, I'm going to ask Margie if this is how she prays because I have a feeling it's not. Margie isn't out there asking, Jesus, please do not let me bleed out from the knives in my back. Or Larsa saying, please let me find the goodness in Lisa and not all the craziness she's been showing me lately. Oh my God. And then the way they end the prayer, like, listen, you can talk to your God however you want. And like, I love you so much. I love you so much. Like, it was just, it was so
weird.
I
hated it.
Oh, I hated it.
No, and they're just both praying from like a victim standpoint. And like, in theory, they were praying to Jesus, who like, the original martyr. Okay. So it's very hard to think of you guys as like, please let me interpret Lisa's actions like differently because it's basically like being nailed to a cross. Right. And Stephanie's like, all these knives in my back, knives in your back. You just had a custom dress made for you. There was all this forethought. What are you fucking talking about? In 12-step rooms, they say it's all a disease of perception. Whatever you fucking focus on gets bigger. So if you're not willing to look at what was good about that day, again, all I want to do is go to Spain now. That trip looked amazing to me. But Stephanie is stuck on who took her private jet and wouldn't be willing to put toilet paper in a trash can. If that's what you choose to focus on, that is your life. And there are not enough Birkin bags and Gucci tights to make that worthwhile for me. So
I don't get it, but I'm really grateful I don't get it.
Same.
Fucking end scene, man.
And what
Woo.
else did you watch this week?
Orange County.
Mhm.
We already talked about that.
Mhm.
Love is Blind UK. I cannot wait for the reunion. It ended up being good. The pods are so boring, but once they leave the pods, it gets good, and the weddings are always so good. And I'm just grateful to be taken for a ride on reality shows. I don't give a fuck, obviously. Trying to think if there's anything else I watched besides reality TV. I think we started the Love Island reunion, but it also got boring or Josh fell asleep. I'm not sure, but we haven't finished it yet. We're not super compelled. Maybe we'll do it tonight if we have nothing else to watch. But yeah, and all of the stuff coming out about the relationships now, I'm like, of course. Like, why do I think that anything is what it is? Ramona, what has watching years of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette taught you? And now, like, Love Island is also manipulating you? Girl, the problem is you. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. But see, I could be blaming these fucking kids, these influencer kids from Love Island. But no, I've learned enough. What's my part? I'm believing this shit? No, I am too old for it. Kiki, I'm too old. I'm
But it's
too
like
old.
we willfully go for the ride.
Totally.
We kind of know the outcome. If you're
Totally.
24 years old, it's very hard to believe that you're gonna get famous, be 24 and horny, go out into the world, and just remain committed for the rest of your life for 70 more years to whoever that one. Like it's
Totally.
yeah.
How about you, friend? What else did you watch?
I did watch the Love Island reunion, and it was so boring. I couldn't believe it. I can't
So
believe it.
boring.
Suddenly, I was like, "How did I watch that show?" But
I
I did, and I
know.
loved it. So I don't know what happened. I'm watching Project Runway, the new season on Hulu, and I'm loving it. It's great. And then I watched a scripted show, animated show called Long Story Short on Netflix. It's from the creator of BoJack Horseman, and it's incredible. It goes forward and backward in time, so it's animated characters, but you get to see each generation at each stage of life, which is totally unusual and brilliant. And I haven't finished it, but it appears that like all these planted seeds in the first few episodes are starting to get explained and dovetailing, and it's hilarious. So I highly, highly recommend Long Story Short on Netflix. It's great.
I've been served that in my you might be interested in. I want to watch it. So I'm really glad to have your endorsement.
It was great. And the art is great. I love that artist. Yeah. And then the original reality TV sports, college football started this weekend. The Big Ten had a great showing. I was very pleased. And US Open has been so dramatic. Again, sports is the original reality TV. There have been racket bashings and comments that have been way out of line and people answering for that and good tennis. So it's been great. What a week.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, what was your antidepressant this week?
My antidepressant this week was, my mom is tending to some health issues and she's basically out of state indefinitely. And the day before she left, I'm going to cry. The day before she left, I had this big plan of how I wanted to spend that day with her. And it didn't go as planned for the best possible reasons. Like all of her friends wanted to see her. One of her friends came over and cooked her breakfast. Someone else wanted to take her to lunch. 3 other ladies wanted to take her to dinner. And she was just like enveloped with like love and appreciation. And I couldn't have asked for anything better, but it wasn't what I wanted. So it was, obviously you can hear in my voice, it was confusing, but I'm emotional because it was beautiful. Like people showing up and friends and like everything that this episode of Miami sort of ended, that sentiment of like, life is short, people matter. It was lovely. So I miss her obviously because it's brand new. She just left, but it was just one of those things of like, it didn't go how I wanted and it turned out better. So, like I can't be mad at that. Anyways, how about you? What was your antidepressant?
Totally. Oh, friend. My antidepressant is that yesterday, Josh and I got to have a date for a long, long time, many hours. And it's always so nice when he and I are able to reconnect and not that we're not connected, but just like, just undivided attention that's not just like connecting for a few hours before we pass out, at the end of a long day. Like intentional time spent together with the focus of just talking about us and what we have going on and what have you. It's just always it's so uplifting when we have that opportunity to do that. And I don't take it for granted at all. I cherish every minute of it. And so, yeah, that's mine.
That's
Mm-hmm.
lovely. Again, it's in
Mm-hmm.
alignment with like the message of this Miami episode of like, it's about the people you love, making time for and appreciating the people you love. So I love it.
Yes. And Leo started school last week. And
Hey.
he is just like every morning, like, I can't wait to go to school. And I'm so thrilled. That's always like, we're just so happy.
That's everything.
It's everything. It's everything. I love it.
That's
Yeah.
so great. I'm so happy for him.
Me
He deserves
too.
that. He deserves to feel excited to go
Me
and be
too.
around kids his age and
'Cause
learn.
I asked Josh, I'm like, was this your experience, like going to school? He's like, fuck no. I was full of dread. I was like, I was full of dread.
I was so
I was
anxious. I
full
was
of
such an
dread.
anxious kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just so grateful that we must be doing something right. Not that Leo doesn't have a part in it too. Just like, I don't know what it would be like. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be my kid.
Look, for today, he's excited to go to school.
Yes,
And that
that's
is
all-
a
yes.
victory. And like, let's rock with that. That's
Yes,
awesome.
exactly. So, I'm awake.
Yay.
And revived after talking about this show with you. Oh, everybody, I hope that you're feeling awake and revived. And if it's not a time for you when you're listening to this to feel awake and revived, but instead you're feeling relaxed and at peace, I'm glad for that too.
Yeah, whether you're partying on the
Yes,
PJ
wherever.
or having texting on the rooftop in Sevilla,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all valuable.
Mm-hmm. So as always, take good care of yourselves. We'll be back next week to talk about these ladies. Margie, as
Love it.
always, I love you so much.
Love you.
Thank you for your time.
Likewise, and we'll talk next week.
We'll talk next week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Ramona and Margie are obviously not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.